Wow, I so appreciate partnering with you and serving with you in life groups, such an important part of what we do at Broadmoor. And my name is Chris Webb. Most of you know me, and you may know this girl right
Melinda
here.
Hendricks.
Yeah, so Melinda, what do you do around here anyway?
Well, a little bit of this and that. I work with women's ministry, and we have that program, but I'm also excited about being part of the prayer ministry.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, and so you said this has been something that's just on your heart. It's not necessarily an assignment from the church, but
That's true.
and so tell me some of the things we're doing. I know we've got something online. That's kind of interesting.
Yes. We have the opportunity to go online and submit prayer requests. And while that is important, and you can do it anonymously, you can put your name, you can put just a few little details on there or whatever. Nobody will know who you are if you go anonymously. But the cool thing about that is once it's on the prayer online, when people go into the see prayer requests that you can be praying for, they can go in and pray for it, and they hit a little button that says I prayed, and it shoots an email to you that just says someone has prayed for you. And I have to tell you, I've tried it out. I put some prayer requests on there myself, and it is just uplifting to get that email like over and over and over again through the week that someone is actually praying for my prayer request.
That is super. I mean, I'm so busy, but I want to serve in some way where you're not too busy for this. You can do this at any point in time. If you want to serve and you want to just be praying for somebody, you can do that. We also have something that you've kind of been leading for us, is that having some prayer going on when Sunday, when somebody's here, anybody's here, they're being prayed for, right?
That's exactly right. We are here every Sunday. There are 6 slots. So if you go on our website, broadmoor.org/prayer, you can see where you can leave the prayer request, or you can pray for prayer requests that have already been there. Or if you scroll on down a little bit, you'll see where you can sign up to be a part of our prayer ministry in the prayer room. Now, this is somewhere you're by yourself, unless you bring somebody with you, and you're quiet in the prayer room, which is located in the Worship Arts conference room during the service hours, just 30-minute shifts. It's really a quiet, intimate time that you can spend with God.
Well, let me say this: I've had other people that's gone through that, and like, man, seems to be for some people that seems to be a long time to pray, but there's all kind of prompts and things there for you to do. So if you go there, you will not only will you be kind of putting a prayer shield over our church and the people here, but you will also be connecting with God yourself. So I think that's really cool. And as you're well aware, we're trying to put in more prayer gatherings on different nights, and I won't give you anything specific since this video may last a long time, but we're looking on those, and your group, life groups, can be a part of that. And so that's just something overall that you can encourage your life groups to be a part of individually and as groups. But also, I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the prayer time during life group. Most groups spend a little time praying at some point in time. Some limit that a little bit, understand, because you've got fellowship going on, but you also have Bible study you want to get to. But prayer is also an important part of building community and growing in your faith, and so we want to do that as well. So I thought we'd just talk through a few ideas of kind of how do you do that? How do you change it up? How do you make that a little bit more special time? A lot of folks will pass a list, and have write them down and send them out and have a prayer list sent out, and that's a really good idea as well. Some folks might limit it and do some praying where people talk about their prayer request, but maybe limit that just to themselves, their individual family. And in that regard, here's one idea. If somebody shares something pretty heavy, something that's pretty difficult, it might be a good thing just to stop right there and pray for them. Maybe have a few people gather around them. I've heard people call it huddle prayer, but put your hands on them and pray for them. Since that's one idea that you could do to make something a little different, special one week.
Well, one of the things that I try to encourage is we've divided our class into 3 different groups. And so we want to swap names, and just for 1 week, you're going to be praying for this person, they're going to be praying for you. Sometimes we do it where you don't know who you're praying for, or they don't know you're praying for them. Sometimes we just do it back and forth, but it just makes it a little bit different, a little bit exciting, and you get to know people when you're praying for them. And that's one way to make a connection and really get involved and entrenched in your life group.
And that is awesome. They do that at Canvas Church, one of our partners in Victoria, Ashley Austin. The way they do that is they use their name tags, and they'll swap name tags, which I thought's a kind of a good idea related to that. And so that's a good thing. One thing, the church will be asking us to do some praying. Right now, we're looking for a pastor. We want God's, of course, favor in that regard. And so there'll be a prayer guide. I hope you'll take some opportunities in your life group to do that as well. You can pray at the beginning. You also pray at the end. And so you might, if you've been around in life groups or Sunday school for quite a while, you've probably tried care groups, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But you can do it in group class for sure. At the end, you can divide up into groups and have them share prayer requests just in those groups and pray together. Maybe not every week, but boy, what a special time that is if you have an opportunity to break up to do that.
And I think one other thing too is sometimes you can just pick a time during your class to pray specifically for the grace of God, for His faithfulness. Just focus on that. You don't have to get into all the other stuff yet, but just focus on one aspect, one attribute of God.
Yeah. I know sometimes I will do this. Now, I know my class good who likes to pray out loud, who maybe doesn't like to pray so much out loud. But when a prayer request is given, let's say Melinda gives a prayer request, I'll say, all right, in a minute, would you pray for her when we have a prayer time in just a minute? And as we go around, so we already assigned this prayer out, and so they're being prayed for just during that time, and so everybody can do that. I like if one of our groups, the Mandy Stanley kind of heads up, Mandy and Bob, and love what they do. They always begin with praise. Like, what are you grateful for? What do you want to praise God for? And I thought, wow, isn't that kind of how we're supposed to start a prayer time? So I thought that, and they even include that in their prayer list that they send out. So they start with that. I thought, wow, that is really, really, really a cool thing to do on that deal. There's all kind of ways that you can do that. So I hope you'll think about that prayer time being a meaningful time, not just something you're just kind of blowing through, but make it an important part of your life group that you use prayer to bind us together, as to serve God together as we love God, love people, and change the world.